I uncovered the idea of deep work kind of intuitively. I kind of arrived at it because I realized that there's a huge benefit to being disconnected from society at the very minimum for blocks of time. Some people do it indefinitely. That's probably not recommended, but there are a lot of benefits to stepping away and going into a form of isolation to do your work, to focus on really deep concepts and things that require a lot of mental energy to arrive to. And another big thing that occurs whenever you actually start doing this is you realize that the time frame that it takes for you to arrive to a solution shortens. One, because you're developing the skill of deep work, which just is your ability to focus for prolonged periods of time. The act of being distracted when you go into that state of flow, they call it flow state, but of just focusing on a problem or asking the universe or whatever to give you a solution to a problem that you're having. And when you get distracted, you will notice that even though, let's say you are working and you get a phone call or you get an email and you just quickly answer that email, they found that there was a residue left over after you answer the email or text or whatever that was still kind of chewing on that original problem. So you can't just quickly pivot into the like back into that flow state to get your solution to get your solution quickly or whatever problem that you're working on. And so that's where the real value comes in with deep work. Yeah, when I was studying Jung, I remember reading about how both him and there was a lot of other people that did it as well that would disappear for prolonged periods of time. Jung himself had built in his house a meditation room, which was a room that was the only purpose of that room was to meditate. That's all he did in that room. And in doing that, he developed the ability to come up with some like incredible insights. That's where a lot of his own insights on the human psyche kind of came, was when he spent a lot of those times in isolation. And mind you, Jung was very, from what he said, he was very introverted naturally. So for extroverts, it's probably not recommended to do that, but at least not for prolonged periods of time. There's even as an extrovert, there's still plenty of benefits to disconnecting. Arguably more benefits than an introvert because introverts just naturally disconnect. For introverts, it's probably the opposite problem, but yeah, that would be the big thing with the concept of deep work that you guys should definitely try. Some of the ways that I do this is through putting my phone on do not disturb, telling the people in my life that they cannot call me if they have an emergency, to call somebody else, and have time frames. Obviously, that's super unrealistic if you have a family and you have all these other responsibilities, but the goal should be to incrementally work towards getting away from your responsibilities, chipping away at your ability to do the deep work, to have prolonged periods of time where you can work on issues that you're struggling with. That would be extremely beneficial, and everyone that has done it has found that it's been extremely beneficial for their own lives. So and it compounds because if you're doing it, the earlier you start doing it, as you get older, it becomes more habitual, but you just develop that muscle to be able to get away and look at a problem from a lot of different angles by doing that. So definitely something I recommend. So that'd be the first thing, deep work. If you guys get a chance, and if you have the means to listen to the audiobook, Deep Work, or purchase the book, definitely would be extremely beneficial for you, I feel like. And mind you, like the actual book itself, there's a lot of interesting things that kind of support the idea of deep work. But once you grasp the concept, you could probably grasp the concept from the first chapter, honestly, where he starts talking about how Jung either came up with the idea or helped kind of build the idea itself.